Just relax, relax. Do you want to experience happiness without trying? Aren't you just tired of trying to be happy? Happiness that is not dependent on any of the external stuff. Simple bliss that is so unexpected because maybe you don't even think it's possible for you. Then get comfortable, relax, and follow the journey with an open mind. We are going to dive deep, so deep that you may even find your long-lost socks. But before we dive towards the unexpected recipe on how to leave those gloomy days behind, here's a fact most people don't even know and most will ignore. Right below this video, there is a magical thanks button that's been sitting there quietly and lonely, just waiting to be noticed. By clicking it, you can treat me to a smoothie or anything else you like. It will make me happy and fuel more inspiration to make more videos like this one. Now drop all your thinking and your worries. It's time to leave the world behind. Yes, you'll keep spinning without your supervision. Leave your to-do list behind. Screw it, it's already too late today. Just relax, nothing serious today. I am just going to share with you the recipe for the perfect happiness. Just relax. And so, how do you reach this perfect happiness? To answer that question, we have to ask ourselves a different question. And we have to notice that beyond any dissatisfaction is always a lack. And so when we are looking for this perfect happiness, I'm going to show you that you already have an idea about what it should look like. And that idea lives in your mind, in your imagination, as a completely different universe. It's completely made up. It doesn't exist, and it never existed, except in the imagination. And so, let's take a look at this universe. To take a look at it, we need to ask ourselves a question. The question will open that portal so we can truly look. Simply look without thinking about looking. And that question is, what would the world look like if I could wish for anything? Or how do I wish the world was like? And we have to become very still and very honest with ourselves, because this meditative practice really requires no effort in thought. We are just looking, and maybe we notice that actually, if we were really honest with ourselves, beyond the ideas about that we should just be satisfied, we should be grateful for what we have, without all these ideas, what's left is simply looking at that universe that appears to live deep inside of our psyche. And it is the very universe that is overshadowing the universe of already always natural abundance. And so for that reason it is an interesting meditative practice to simply look at it and describe it. It's almost like in description, it cannot really survive being labeled and recognized and described. It somehow only lives or appear to live or appear to have some existence when we are completely oblivious to it. And so when I look at this universe, I see that perhaps I wish I had more money. And yeah, that would be nice if I had longer hair. And if my body was a bit stronger and more flexible and mobile. Maybe I wish I was a little more younger, with all that experience that I will have in the future. See, some wishes are completely irrational, but that doesn't stop them from appearing to exist. And so, in this matter, we can keep on looking and keep on looking. And it is so interesting what's there, what appears to be there. And so how to achieve this perfect happiness? When we look at that universe that appears to exist but doesn't really, and that it overshadows what already is, the simplicity of non-duality, of this which cannot be divided, which is not good or bad, too little or too much. It simply is. That this reality as it is, without all the ideas, all the hidden ideas that we have about it, there is actually nothing missing. It is the epitome of perfection. Perfection is where nothing can be lacking and nothing can be added to it. It's perfect the way it is, just like everything. But we cannot see it through that hidden universe that we are looking from. And so, to really be able to recognize that freedom and that happiness, we need to question that seemingly existent universe. We need to question our own assumptions and beliefs that we try to protect at all costs. And so, for example, let's say that you wished you had more money, a little more money. And of course, not just a little more money. We would like a little more money in an infinite supply that just keeps on going, so we never run out. Those are the kind of wishes that the person who lives in time or in this timeline have. Alright, and we believe it because we never look at it and we never question it. So we believe with 100% certainty that having that infinite supply of money forever, for eternity, that would be actually better for us or would make us happier in a long run. And so let's just take a little moment to really look at that belief that we take as truth without noticing, and let's simply question it. Is there a way of knowing? Do I have enough information to know that that scenario in which I have this infinite supply of never-ending money, that would actually make me happier? And as we start looking, we start seeing different possibilities that perhaps we had never seen before. And those possibilities are the very opposite of that nightmare that we are guarding. Maybe if you had infinite money, maybe you wouldn't value the most valuable things, like some relationships or experiences. You don't know. Ask some really spoiled little kid who has always had everything, how it's been going for him. Without a challenge, there is no value. Trust that the universe has ingenious ways of taking care of you. And in that, you can relax even deeper into that which you truly are. You, my friend, have been selling yourself so cheap, thinking that you can ever compare yourself to anybody else or anything else. You are beyond any comparison. You are so beyond. Relax into that. Relax into this. Into all that you are, exactly the way you are. Because it could have never been anything else. And beyond our opinions and stories and assumptions and comparisons, there is just this pure perfection of being. with nothing added on top. In every moment and every day and every year, every lifetime, completely complete and whole, already and always. What a relief! It's hard to notice because the mind is constantly showing us those images and invites us to compare to something else. I just want to invite you to really honor your own experience. Honor your own life exactly as it is. A beautiful journey that has always a happy ending. And if it's not happy, it's not the ending yet. Simply being beyond any comparison. You simply can't compare to anything and to anybody. Why would you want to compare to the best image of somebody else's best work that's been over-edited to the progress that you're making step by step this moment? The journey is the point. This is the point. And the happiness always lies right here, in simple recognition, beyond the duality of trying and achieving and losing and gaining, which is never ending. Always, every gain has a loss that comes with it. Every excitement leads to disappointment. And beyond that, it's just this perfection where nothing can ever be added or taken away. Just this, the way it is, without our assumptions and opinions, how it should be. What a relief! What a magic! And so we can start seeing beyond duality, beyond what we think is better or what would make us happier. Putting all of these thoughts that live as images and stories in our mind, let's put them aside. And when we can really look, we simply see the simplicity of how everything is already perfect, without knowing where one situation will lead us to something else. There is no need to know anymore. Once you realize that there is no way of knowing, the need to know simply collapses in that recognition. And that is the beginning of the perfect happiness, if there was one, if there was a beginning, and if there was a perfect happiness. Other than what is left when we take away all the stories that we so vehemently deny, that we don't really have. What is left is so full. There is no space for anything to lack. It's like as if the universe was just one room filled with water, and that water feels like bliss, and there is no space for anything else, not even little bubbles. That's how full it is. And the infinity of it doesn't even have to be that big as we imagine. It simply doesn't go beyond what is. The moment I start imagining, it isn't it anymore. It is a thought, an image. So mostly we imagine infinity in our imagination because we cannot see how simple it really is. And so, what if this already was the perfect happiness? What if this already was the perfect happiness? Well, with all the right challenges and opportunities and ups and downs to create captivating stories, as that is the only way for you to experience what freedom looks like, what forgiveness looks like, what compassion feels like. So when we can feel that moment, when those glimpses of perfection really happen, even if it's just a glimpse, it's worth the story, the whole culmination to get to that point of a sudden piece of wisdom or noticing of love or freedom, or suddenly those hidden opportunities just become right there. It is a place where nothing needs to be done, and yet all that needs to be done is done, and all that doesn't need to be done will never be done. So that worry about it can also just go. As if it was really coming from anywhere. And so, what would you be able to notice if this, right now, even with my dog scratching the door, was already perfect? What would you be able to notice about this week that is already perfect? What would you notice about today that is already perfect? Beyond what we think is better, and what would you notice about what now make us happier? Putting all of these thoughts that live as images and stories in our mind, let's put them aside. And we have to notice. And when we can really look, that we simply see the simplicity beyond of how everything is already perfect. Without knowing where, and so one situation will lead us to something else. There is, I'm going to show you that no need to know an idea about what it should look like. Once you realize that there is no way of knowing, lives in your mind, in your imagination. The need to know simply collapses in that recognition. Different universe. It's completely made up. It doesn't exist, and that never existed. I'm going to show you the beginning, the imagination of the perfect happiness. And so, if there was one, let's take a look at this universe. If there was a beginning, to take a look at it, and if there was a perfect happiness question, the question will open that portal, so we can truly look. It doesn't exist, other than what is lacking about looking. When we take away all the stories, is that what would the world look like the day night that we don't really have? If I could wish for anything, or how do I wish the world was? What is left is so full, and we have to become very still. There's no space for anything to lack. Very honest with ourselves. And that question, as if the universe was just one room, this meditative practice really requires. And that water, no, feels like bliss. No, and there is no space for anything else. Looking. How do I wish? And maybe we notice little bubbles. That's how full it is. We have to become really honest with ourselves. Beyond the ideas about that we and the infinity of it doesn't even have to be great or big as we imagine. Without all these ideas, what's left is it simply doesn't go beyond universe, that what it appears to live deep inside of our psyche. And maybe we notice. The moment I start imagining, it isn't it anymore. That is overshadowing. It is a thought, an image. The universe of already always natural. So mostly we imagine infinity. And so in our imagination, it is an interesting meditative because we cannot see how simple it really is. And describe it. And it is almost like in description, it cannot And so, what if this already was the perfect happiness recognized and described? It somehow only lives or appears to live. What if this already was the perfect happiness when we are completely oblivious to it? Well, all with all the right challenges when I look at this universe and opportunities, I see that perhaps I wish and ups and downs to create captivating stories. And yeah, that would be nice if I had longer hair. The only way, and if my body was free to experience, more flexible and mobile, what freedom looks like. Maybe I wish I was a little more younger. With all that experience, that compassion I will have in feels like. See, some wishes are completely irrational. When we can feel that moment, that doesn't stop them from glimpses of perfection really happen. And so, in this matter, we can, even if it's just a glimpse, it's worth on looking the story and the whole culmination to get to that point. What's there? What a sudden piece of wisdom, or noticing of love, and so or freedom, this perfect happiness, or suddenly those hidden opportunities just become. When we look right at that universe that appears to exist but doesn't really, and that it overshadows, it is a place where nothing needs to be done. And yet, all that needs to be done is done. And all that doesn't need to be done will never be done. Which is not good or bad. So, that worry about it can also just go. As if it was really coming from anywhere. And so, what would you be able to notice? And thank you for watching and listening and looking. And if you'd like to be or take your happiness to the next level by making me happy, smash that lonely thanks button below the video.